Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Earlier, we were talking about some Florida man stories, and now we're going to continue with some more. Yeah.
Right. And I sent Faith a message. I love these takes and these conversations
Mm-hmm.
because Faith and I are in two very different worlds.
Yeah.
Faith is in her early 20s. I'm 54. So there's the age gap.
Mm-hmm.
She's a woman, I'm a man.
Mm-hmm.
White, black, north, south. I mean, it's just so different. So it's kind of cool to talk about these things
Yeah.
because we have such a different dynamic of who
Mm-hmm.
we are and what we look at. And so the fact of the matter is, whether Faith agrees with me or I agree with Faith or whichever, it's not that either one of us are wrong. It's just cool seeing the different
Mm-hmm.
way each of us look at it.
Yeah.
That's what I love about
Yeah.
it.
Alrighty, so our next Florida man story. A Florida man stole shellfish valued at over $400, deputies say. Deputies with the Valencia County Sheriff's Office responded to a shoplifting call earlier Friday morning at the Winn-Dixie in Deltona.
Not the Winn-Dixie. I'm sorry, I apologize. The Winn-Dixie. It's Winn-Dixie got it going on. All right, I'm ready for the Winn-Dixie. Okay.
Okay. And made contact with two men and staff outside the store. According to an arrest, a cashier witnessed a man in a jacket leaving the store while concealing several bags of crab legs. He was followed by an older man who did not appear to be holding any merchandise, the cashier told deputies. The store manager followed the men outside and confronted them about the alleged theft. According to the arrest, the men attempted to leave, but their vehicle wouldn't start. As the man holding the crab legs attempted to return them to the store manager, he was advised that Winn-Dixie would pursue criminal charges. While questioning the man accused of taking the crab legs, later identified as 33-year-old Kurt Beck, deputies said he stated he knew what he was doing was wrong. After questioning the other man, deputies learned that he did not steal any merchandise and was acting only as the driver for Beck due to Kurt's license being suspended. So.
Okay, first off, were you surprised that his license was suspended?
No.
Are you surprised that his vehicle wouldn't start?
No.
Now, I'm gonna give these two enterprising individuals a pass. And here's the reason why I'm gonna give them a pass. Is there anything more delicious than crab legs?
Okay, here's my thing though.
You start thinking about them crab legs. I soon when you were reading the story, I'm like, you know what? I understand. I love me some crab legs.
Here's my thing though. If you're gonna go out of your way to steal crab legs, go to a nicer store than Winn-Dixie. Get you some high quality crab legs if you're gonna go on a crab leg heist,
See, I beg to differ on this one. Okay. You go to a higher end store, you got more than Barney Fife handling security. But at good old Winn-Dixie,
should have tried at Walmart. Maybe you would have had a better.
Right. You may be able to get away with it. So these enterprising individuals were kind of thinking like, which one am I more likely to get away with getting my crab legs on the night? Also, I'm saying not guilty on temporary insanity. They were walking through Winn-Dixie. They were probably going to get them, some Cocoa Puffs and milk, and went past the crab
some
legs,
natty lights, and
maybe a jar of hot
shotgun
dogs.
shells.
That we were talking about, a jar of hot dog and some natty light. And they went past that crab leg section, and they knew they didn't have enough money.
Yeah. Oh,
But you start thinking about it. What's that you gonna say?
we just got a comment from Jen freaking Ping. They said, "Good morning." Good morning. Well, it's
Good
good morning for
morning.
me. It's not good morning for Tate, but it's good afternoon for Tate.
It's midday for me. And Jen, I hope you have a chance to enjoy your weekend. Don't go stealing crab legs at Winn-Dixie. That's the only thing I would recommend that you do not do.
Yeah.
But a brother understands why, you know, think about it. It's the weekend. You're thinking about you go past that crab leg section, and guess what? You realize that your funds isn't crab leg deep. You realize
Yeah.
you got chicken leg money, but crab leg taste.
Yeah.
So what do? You go grab you up some crab legs. You run out to the to the General Lee out there and try to start it up, but it doesn't start.
Yeah.
That's what the
Yeah.
problem is.
It's seafood season, all you can think about is crab legs.
I'm telling you. Are you a crab leg fan?
I love crab legs and lobster.
Girl, I'm not a lobster guy.
I love lobster.
I am not a lobster man. I've never been a lobster man. But crab legs, girl.
He'll tear them suckers up.
Why you think I'm thinking about bailing my man out? I'm thinking about going down to the local Winn-Dixie and covering their bill.
Hey, $400 worth? That's a whole seafood boil right there.
Exactly.
Low country bowl.
You get that. You get those crab legs, and you get you a couple of the cases of Natty Light and some barbecuing, and you got a good time. I'm letting you know.
Yeah, you do.
I'm letting you know. Now, that's the one thing, like the seafood in Portugal is just second to none. It is awesome.
I bet.
And it's weird because in the US, seafood is super expensive.
It's so expensive. Let me tell you something. That my boyfriend and I went to a food truck pop-up this past week, and they were doing lobster rolls. $22 for a lobster roll. It was a sandwich. It was nice Texas toast and then lobster on top of it. That was all it was, and it was $22.
And half the time it's not even lobster. They be lying to you. You take it to the lab, and that's Chihuahua meat that you getting. You're not even getting lobster. You got lobster sauce on it. You don't even get real lobster a lot of times. But here, it's weird because I grew up in Ohio, then moved to California. And so seafood is something that you did on kind of like special occasions and things of that nature growing up. And then moving to Europe and you moving to Portugal, where like people have seafood every day. The cheap stuff, it's the polar opposite, it feels like here, where seafood and vegetables, that's cheap stuff. You get that all day. That stuff. So the processed foods that are cheap in America, that stuff's expensive here. And like in America, processed food is dirt cheap, but seafood and all that stuff, that's expensive stuff. To me, it's like polar opposite. So going there, especially fish. I mean, you go there and snapper and all the different food, different sea bass, man. I've eaten so much sea bass, it's not even funny. But you don't get a lot of lobster here. Now lobster is super expensive here because that's not something that they normally catch around here, which is kind of weird. So you like not seeing lobster a lot. And then crab as well is two that you don't get. But all fish and things you get fish all the time and all different kinds of fish. So I've become a seafood connoisseur. Oh. And then, oh girl, yes. I used to be I used to be in America. I was that guy, get me the double cut prime rib, and you know what I mean, or hook a brother up with the ribeye. Now I'm more of the seafood guy here,
Hmm.
but I've always had it, the crab legs have always been special, especially living in California, and they have those Dungeness crab legs or those Alaskan
Hmm.
king crab. That's why you gotta give them a pass. I'm giving them a pass because they didn't went on down to Winn-Dixie and done it up right.
Yeah. Yeah. I love a good, low country boil with some crab legs and some shrimp. Ooh, and some gosh, I'm hungry now.
You know what? I was thinking that same thing when you were talking about this, because I started picturing as you were going through telling the story, I started thinking about this. And I remember the first time I stole this from another guy. And so I've done this, but this guy who I'm going to give him the credit for, this guy named Mitch, he used to every year he would do a crab feed broil
Hmm.
where he'd invite all his friends over. He'd invite like 100 friends over. He have a band. I stole this from him and started doing it myself. But and then he would have the shirts, and he would give every all the girls shirts, and everyone would have shirts, and they get all the crab themselves in his backyard and partying up. And his shirts used to always say, "I got crabs from Mitch," and it'd be like 2019, 2010. And each year he would change that up, and I kind of stole that from him, just being truthful, because he's the one that created it. But I always thought that was awesome. So not crabs, crab legs. The other ones, the other ones aren't your friends. You want you want a
Just move
crab
on. Just
royal.
move on.
You don't want the other crab. The other crabs are just not as tasty as the other ones.
Just
I'm
move
just gonna
on,
say.
Tate. Move on.
And with that,
We're gonna,
that was my last
yep,
words
we're
of
gonna
the
close
day.
out the show with that, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the Andrew Tate Show, presented by the GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us, so please remember to subscribe to the show and leave a positive review. It really does make a difference. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for more content and updates. Thank you once again. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you on Monday. Peace.
Mm-hmm. 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 Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet. Damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to